Hello, good morning. Our first issue is Kanvariyatra and the plan of UP. Uttar Pradesh has planned for physical Kanvar on a limited scale. In this context, few have filed a case in Supreme Court. Supreme Court has said that yes, we respect your religious sentiments, but then right to life has precedence over all the other rights. This particular yatra, it might lead to more number of COVID cases, which can endanger the right to life of many individuals. That's why it said no to the Kanwar Yatra. Already, Uttarakhand state government has decided to suspend it. Now, Supreme Court has asked the UP to suspend this. Recently, Indian Medical Association IMA has also said that if this is allowed, this would be the starting point of third wave. Already cases are increasing in Kerala and Maharashtra. In this context, we should be more careful. Next issue is Purview of Krishna and Godavari water management boards has been notified by Ministry of Jal Shakti. We have AP Reorganization Act 2014. In this act, two water bodies or two water management boards are notified. One is Krishna Water Management Board, second one Godavari River Water Management Board. So what are the powers of these two boards? There was no clarity earlier. Now the purview of each board has been notified by Ministry of Jal Shakti, and it has transferred operation of all projects including hydel generation projects to these particular boards. That means these two boards, they are going to supervise all the projects between the two states. Recently there's a conflict or there's an issue between two states in Krishna water sharing. To avoid such things, these boards and the clear delineation of powers would help. Next issue is Afghanistan peace process. Recently, Uzbekistan has conducted Central and South Asia Connectivity Conference. In this conference, Afghanistan president has clearly stated that Pakistan is not serious in Afghanistan peace process. 1,000 above jihadists have crossed from Pakistan to Afghanistan, and Pakistan has not forced or not seriously tried with the Taliban to go for the peace process. That's the criticism from Afghanistan president. See, why is this a big issue? Because Afghanistan and Pakistan, they share the border, and the southern border and eastern border of Afghanistan with Pakistan, that's the sanctuary for many of the Taliban and Al Qaeda leaders. In this context, if Pakistan is not serious, this peace process is not going to be completed. That's why they are saying this. But then there are clear signs that Taliban are making advances in many provinces in Afghanistan. They are going to take over the country. But that will lead to violence again. It will again repeat the 1996 situation. Next issue is judiciary and role of technology. Recently, there's a suo motu case taken up by the Supreme Court in which it said that after granting the bail, it is taking time for releasing the people or for releasing the prisoners. In this context, Supreme Court has rolled out a new scheme called FAST. Abbreviation is Fast and Secure Transmission of Electronic Records. So this FASTer scheme is nothing but a database in which the bail copies are uploaded, which can be accessed by the jail authorities anywhere in India. Then instantly and directly they can release the prisoners. For that particular thing, role of ICT, information communication technology, has been used. Next issue is floods in Europe. Many of the European countries, including Germany, Belgium, Switzerland, are experiencing heavy rainfall. Western European countries, they received 2 months of rainfall in 2 days. That led to flash floods, that led to damage of infrastructure, property, loss of life, etc. In this context, there are many factors that are contributing to flood, but the major factor can be climate change. Climate change is leading to extreme events like flash floods as the present one. Next issue is stretching the fiscal deficit targets. For the year 2021 and 22, government has fixed fiscal deficit target at 6.8%. But now we need to enhance it. We can encourage it because by the time we formulated this particular budgetary number, we didn't had second wave. After that only we faced the brunt of second wave. In this context, government spending more, that is, through fiscal stimulus, if the government spends more, it enhances the demand in the market. Increase in the demand leads to more supply, more production, more growth, more employment. That will revive the economy. So that's why fiscal deficit target can be enhanced. More innovative options to increase the funding should be encouraged. Monetization, which was proposed in the budget, that can be taken up. So resources need to be gathered and spent. That's the ultimate thing that is mentioned over here. Next issue is very important: China carbon trading scheme. China is the biggest carbon emitter. Overall, biggest carbon emitter. Per capita wise, USA is the biggest carbon emitter. And China has recently announced carbon trading scheme. That means a company which produces less carbon, that will issue the carbon certificates, or we call as carbon credits. Others who are polluting more, they buy these carbon certificates. This is known as carbon trading. So this carbon trading, if it is allowed, China, if it becomes the biggest market, as it is the biggest emitter, slowly carbon emissions might reduce. So that's the positive hope over here. Next, let us understand the editorials. First one is sedition and overdue in review. Recently, Supreme Court has questioned the government that why Section 124A of IPC still exists in India. It's been 75 years of independence. This act has been most misused. Recently, in three areas, this particular provision has been misused. One, to suppress the criticism and protest against the government policies. Second one, to criminalize the dissenting opinion from rights activists, lawyers, journalists, etc. Three, to settle the political differences. In this context, in 2016, the Government of India itself has said that definition of sedition is broader and it needs reconsideration, but they have not reviewed it. Law Commission of India has mentioned in 2018 that in democracy, everyone cannot be of same opinion. They'll have multiple opinions, but those multiple opinions cannot be termed as sedition. So in this context, there is a need for comprehensive review of sedition as a provision. Next issue is renewed healthcare system. See, such these articles are important to write examples in our answers. Now, let's understand this. Mortality rates are less wherever health infrastructure is good. Let's consider the case study. In Kerala, the mortality rates overall is 0.48%. In Maharashtra, it is 2.04%. But per capita wise, if we look at the economic growth, Maharashtra is much more developed state as compared to Kerala. Yes or no? But then why this particular difference? Why Kerala has performed better than Maharashtra? It's because of the more investment in public healthcare. Kerala has invested more in public healthcare rather than in the private healthcare. That's why the outcomes are good in Kerala. So in this context, government should try to spend more money to enhance and encourage the public infrastructure. Our final issue is UP's draft population bill. See, there are many articles in the past 3 days regarding this. You have to combine all the points from these articles and you have to write them at one place or revise them at one place. We have uploaded the compilation of all the news articles of past month and the past 15 days. You can go through it. The link is mentioned in the description box. Now, let's understand this. UP's draft population bill. It is said that evidence says that informed free choice that leads to population control, not the incentive model. For example, let's understand this. In 1994, Program of Action of International Conference on Population and Development. In this particular conference, India is a member. India participated and India also agreed to be part of it. This particular international conference said that coercion needs to be reduced, incentives and disincentives model, this needs to be replaced with the principle of informed choice. In this context, national population policy that's formed that supports the target based approach. And it encourages the population control through education, maternal and child health care survival, availability of healthcare services and good contraceptive services. These needs to be focused for the better population control. These are today's topics. Thank you very much. All the very best.